Hello and welcome to this session on role of education in national integration. Since independence, no subject in India has been discussed more extensively than national integration. National integration is a complex process. It is a multi-dimensional concept with many interlocking elements that operate independently to some degree, but yet are also interactive, cumulative and generally complementary. The literal meaning of integrity is the state of being whole and undivided. Origin of this word is from the French word intégrité or Latin word integritas, meaning integral. National integration is the awareness of a common identity among the citizens of a country. The sentiments of national integration constitute the following. The individual should have ambition for national progress. The individual should have sentiments of friendship, integrity and honesty. The individual should have unflinching faith in national traditions and values. The individual's national feeling should be free from communalism, and the individual's national feeling should comprise of social, economic, linguistic, cultural and religious aspects of life. India at all times has been a multiracial, multilingual, multireligious society. Thus, national integration in India is the recognition of feeling of oneness, though people in the country belong to different castes, creed, faith, religion and regions and speaks different languages. Here in India, the diversities are recognized and respected by imbibing a sense of nationhood. On achieving independence in 1947, India was pledged to be built into a secular democratic republic based on principles of social and economic justice. While efforts were afoot to achieve these objectives, it was found that India was faced with many diverse phases which began to eat into the vitals of the national unity and led to disruption. Having found this problem, Jawaharlal Nehru on July 26, 1960 declared that though political integration had taken place in the country, it is necessary to create something deeper than that, that is an emotional integrity, so that the country may be welded into one strong national unit, maintaining at the same time all of its wonderful diversity. National integrity has social, political, religious, regional and economic dimensions in India. There are several obstacles in the way of national integration of our country. The most formidable obstacles are language variation, communalism and regionalism. Despite a shared culture of so many years, linguistic diversities have often generated tensions and conflicts amongst different communities, threatening the fabric of national unity. India is a multilingual country, and thus in the Indian Union, the states have been organized on linguistic basis. There are people in this country who hold an exclusive view of their religion and do not admit of tolerance of other faiths. Casteism is another divisive force. Caste organizations interfere in politics and function as pressure groups to obtain benefits undeservedly. These factors prevent national integration. Regionalism gives more importance to one's own region than to one's own nation. Regionalism creates parochial outlook and narrow-mindedness and affects national integrity. Now, it is the area of liberalization, globalization and of information and communication technology. The curriculum framers in our country emphasize on these dimensions while framing it, but hardly any effort is being made for provision of moral, spiritual and national building education. The competitive world of 21st century is motivated by economic gains alone. Hence, the students of today have not been inculcated with the values of morality, truthfulness, spirituality and nationalism. Education has to play a major role in inculcating the values of solidarity, integrity, knowledge about literature and culture through moral science, spiritual and secular education and value education. The primary aim of education is to produce patriotic citizens and has the potentiality of creating a new social order and new ideology of cooperation rather than conflict and competition. Education has the innate capacity to unfold and develop the innate qualities of an individual. Changes in education are like a silent revolution that can bring about a designed pattern of a society. This type of education can increase the thinking capacity of the individuals in a nation, which is an essential part in building national emotional integration. In formulating an educational approach which can result in integration, cohesion and harmony in the country, national education has to be understood in both formal and informal contexts and cater for in these multiple connotations. Role of government in promoting education for national integration. The problem of national integration in India is connected with national reconstruction, building of national economy, improving the standard of living of people, developing values in society, securing social justice to the people, fostering fellow feeling and national sentiments. Education can play a major role in instilling a feeling of national integration among the citizens. The Education Commission of 1952-53 emphasized the role of education in the country. The Commission stated thus: the educational system must make its contribution to the development of habits, attitudes and qualities of character which will enable its citizens to bear worthily the responsibilities of democratic citizenship and to face all those vociferous tendencies which hinder the emergence of a broad national and secular outlook. In 1962, a committee was formed under the chairmanship of Dr. Samburnananda called the Committee on Emotional Integration. The committee was set up to study the role of education in promoting the process of emotional integration in national life and to advise on the positive educational programs for the youth. The committee felt that education by itself cannot achieve national integrity and recommended that it is the duty of the educational institutions in the country to give a sense of direction to the students regarding the same. The committee felt that teaching social studies at all levels would impart knowledge of the geographical, historical and cultural backgrounds of the country. Samburnananda committee suggested the following: the curriculum should be reoriented to suit the needs of a secular state. Singing national anthem and other patriotic songs should be must in all the schools. National celebrations on days such as January 26, August 15, October 2, etc. should be done with full participation of teachers, students and the community. Students should be compulsorily made to read the newspapers daily. It should be made compulsory to read books of non-communal nature that throw light on nationalism. Students should be taught the importance of national flag of the country. Schools should conduct several projects which improve the students' knowledge about the country, and educational and travel documentation should be shown to the students which help them understand life of different people living in different parts of the country. Later, the Education Commission of 1964-66 chaired by D.S. Kothari identified social and national integration as one of the major problems of national development. The Commission suggested that the subjects on these themes should be included in the curriculum taught in schools and colleges. The Kothari Commission found that national integration includes a confidence in nation's future, a continuous rise in standards of living, development of feeling of values and duties, a good and impartial administrative system and mutual understanding. The National Unity Committee was formed in the year 1968 and recommended on education for national integration as follows: education should be recognized for promoting the national sentiments of the people of the country. The regional imbalances in the country should be removed. Good education should be provided to everyone. A common school system should be established in the whole country. A council should be formed to rewrite the present textbooks prescribed for schools and colleges. Educational facilities should be provided without inequality. Equal opportunities for education should be provided for the weaker sections of the society. Merit scholarships should be increased and inter-university programs should be organized. In 1986, the National Policy on Education pointed out the need for establishing a national system of education and institutions to promote national integration and different components of the Constitution. In 1999, Justice J. S. Verma Committee was set up to implement the suggestions to teach fundamental duties to citizens of the country. This committee analyzed the curriculum at various levels of education and teacher education from the point of view of various fundamental duties including national integration and communal harmony. From its inception itself, the National Council for Educational Research and Training, or NCERT, took efforts to promote national integration and communal harmony. Since development of instruction materials is one of the primary duties of NCERT, they have taken great pains to include content materials to foster core components of national educational policies and Indian Constitution. They have always made sure whether their instructional materials incorporate core components such as national integration and communal harmony. Role of curriculum and education institutions in developing national integration. Indian curriculum has laid emphasis on intellectual development, but has neglected emotional development. The problem of national integration is connected with the question of secularism and moral and religious teachings in our country. We need an ideal system of education for all, a national system of education throughout the country with centralized administration and a uniform pattern. This can help in bringing about intellectual integration. A radical change should be brought about in the curriculum. Every subject taught in the curriculum in schools should be taught in the point of view of the national need of the country. The integrating task of education cannot be performed unless history and historical facts are placed in their proper perspective. So, the knowledge about our nation's literature and its history should be included compulsorily in the curriculum. History, when properly taught, can help children to become critical and human. A short and simple history of the national movement and Indian freedom struggle should be introduced in the curriculum of secondary schools and training institutions. At higher level, like that of university, a book on Indian culture be introduced. The curriculum should also be inclusive of geography of each region in the country, biographies of national heroes of the country, different cultures and languages that exist in the country, etc. This would help in cultivating deep attitudes for the realization of cultural and social unity. The students in schools should be made to read maps regularly to be familiar with diverse India. Teaching of one's own country comes within the jurisdiction of social studies. It enables a person to understand himself and his human relationship. Textbooks should be rewritten if necessary to emphasize national integration. History books should emphasize cultural unity and its glorious past. Students should be made to realize the importance of independence. To promote social cohesion, consciousness of a national identity and need for national integration, a common core school curriculum should be adapted throughout the country with addition for and provision of regional knowledge on regional basis. Religion should be another important topic that should be stressed. Religious tolerance and respect for religion other than one's own is necessary. Secularism advocates neither anti-religious faith nor faith in any particular religion. Our schools must therefore stress basic unity of all religion. The students should be acquainted with the founder of each religion in India. In order to integrate the whole country, knowledge of different faiths and inculcation of a spirit of tolerance are inevitably needed. Common prayers should be made compulsory in all schools so that comparison on religion is avoided to the fullest. Good things from every religion should be written on the bulletin board of the school and should be placed in front of the assembly hall. This will bring religious harmony among the students. Admissions in schools and colleges should be purely based on merit. Caste, religion and region should not be taken into consideration while admitting the students in any educational institution. Scholarships should also be given to the students on the basis of merit alone. Students of one state should be allowed to study in any state without any restriction. This helps in bonding the young people of the country. Along with religious education, moral education should be imparted to the students. This would equip them to cope with the challenges they would face in life. They should be taught how to respect human life and live in peace. The emotional side of integrity can be developed through co-curricular activities. Co-curricular activities like NCC, Scouts and Guides movement, Junior Red Cross, etc. should be made a must so that it develops an emotional bonding between the students. Activities should also include showing children films and conducting talks on national integrity, singing of national anthem, etc. Singing the anthem of a nation and other patriotic songs can instill in the children a rightful pride for the country. National anthem should be made to sing in unison with respect every day in the morning and the evening. The students should be taught the meaning of the anthem. The teachers should teach the students the history of national flag and ask the students to respect their national flag. They should be made to salute the national flag with great respect. The students should be asked to take the national pledge, dedicating themselves to serve their countrymen. The national pledge inspires the students to develop a sense of love and devotion towards their country. Debates should be conducted on topics related to secular nature. National days like Independence Day and Republic Day should be celebrated in schools enthusiastically. Other celebrations and festivals of different communities and religions should be conducted in schools with a national outlook. The students should be taken to tours to different states to understand different people and their culture. They should be taken to heritage places and historical museums to broaden the horizon of students' minds. Youth festivals, leadership training camps, NSS camps, NCC camps, etc. should be organized to bring together youth from different parts of the country. The three language formula, which insists in teaching the mother tongue or regional language plus one modern language plus one foreign language, should be accepted in every school. The students in all states should be taught at least one language that exists in the country other than their mother tongue. The study of languages and literature of different parts of the country will pave way for the development of a composite Indian culture. Major languages in the country should get equal importance in national activities. Library is the heart of every school. The libraries of all educational institutions should be strengthened with the right types of books which inculcate the feeling of nationalism. Uniform systems can be decided by the school according to their preferences. Uniform system help in reducing the gap between the rich and the poor. The role of teachers in promoting national integration. Teachers are regarded as the central force in the whole education system. No program of national integration can be successful without competent teachers. They play a very important role in imparting such a feeling of their students. The teachers in every school can create an environment in which peoples can live together. Teachers should see national integration through their democratic behaviors and ways of thinking. The teachers can emphasize the spirit of tolerance providing the Indian life. A teacher can play a constructive and creative role through the curriculum he teaches. He can procure related literature for the library in order to increase the knowledge of the students. A teacher should be a symbol of unity because no programs which create the feeling of national integration can succeed in education institutions unless the teacher himself is above casteism, communalism, provincialism, parochialism and narrow-mindedness. Only if he is infused with the spirit of democracy, equality and fraternity, he can easily train his students in inculcating the same values. The teachers should narrate to their students the stories of great heroes of the nation who sacrificed their life for the unity and integrity of the nation. He should maintain the atmosphere of national unity in the school environment by presenting historical facts in an impartial and objective manner. The teachers should lay stress on the point that technological developments have made things easier for the people. Since India has to keep her head high, people should unite and make all efforts to strengthen our country's unity. The teachers should emphasize the need for bringing national unity to fight against the forces such as communalism, casteism, regionalism and terrorism. They should not discriminate against their students on the basis of caste, color, language, region and religion. They should check the wrong tendencies of the students towards such feelings. Conclusion: education is an instrument of socio-economic development and of modernization consistent with our traditions and national ethos. The key to national integration lies in making the institutions of primary learning organized in an egalitarian manner, with outer and inner environments being attractive enough for a young child, whatever background he comes from. There cannot be national integration without understanding the character of the nation, and there cannot be communal harmony unless we intrinsically believe in the validity of different beliefs and approaches. Let me summarize what we have discussed so far. Since independence, no subject in India has been discussed more extensively than national integration. National integration is the awareness of a common identity among the citizens of a country. India at all times has been a multiracial, multilingual, multireligious society. Thus, national integration in India is the recognition of feeling of oneness, though people in the country belong to different castes, creed, faith, religion and regions and speaks different languages. Education has to play a major role in inculcating the values of solidarity, integrity, knowledge about literature and culture through moral science, spiritual and secular education and value education. The primary aim of education is to produce patriotic citizens and has the potentiality of creating a new social order and new ideology of cooperation rather than conflict and competition. The chapter talks about the importance and role of education in developing national integrity in India. Now, you can try to answer the questions given here. How does curriculum in schools and colleges help in inculcating the feeling of national integrity among the students? What role does a teacher have to play in developing the feeling of nationalism and integrity in his students? Name a few commissions and its recommendations on developing education for national integrity. Why is national integration important for a country like India? What type of co-curricular activities help in developing the emotional side of national integrity? Hope that you may go through these books for reference. Philosophical and Sociological Perspectives of Education, written by Pathak R.P. and published by Atlantic Publishers, New Delhi in the year 2007. An Introduction to Education, written by Sarah Matthew and Munazza Afreen, published by Author House, Bloomington in the year 2012. Educational Planning and National Development, Some Crucial Aspects, written by Koladkar M.R. and published by M.D. Publications Private Limited, New Delhi in 1997. Hope that you have enjoyed the session. Have a nice day.